Murder Cool Riddles presents Battlestar Galactica Online. Play now for free. The Murder Mystery Game. Free. The dead body of Adrian was found at the bottom of a cliff. He was clothed in heavy hiking boots, mitts, several light jackets, thick wooden trousers. Thick woolen trousers. James G. recounted, I returned to camp early to make dinner for the hunting party when I saw Adrian and Lulu arguing. They had been dating for several years and frequently held heated discussions. I didn't want to intrude, so I hid behind a tree. Suddenly, Adrian picked up a rock, delivered a fatal blow to Lulu's head. Just then, Adrian saw me. He was so startled he turned and ran off a cliff. He obviously forgot about the cliff and fell to his death. You raped Lulu and chucked him off the cliff. That's what you did, isn't it, Gary? When the lab checked the rock that supposedly killed Lulu, it found Adrian's fingerprints on it. The police immediately ordered the arrest of James G. Why? Well, because his story is retarded. He hit with a rock and jumped on the cliff. He saw me and he shit himself. He forgot a cliff was there. I returned to camp early and made dinner. You're never going to make dinner. You can't cook. I hid behind a tree and watched what wanking. Suddenly Adrian picked up a rock, delivered a fatal blow. He wore gloves. He turned and ran. Splat. He had gloves on. That's my answer. Although he could have just as easily. He could have just as easily killed her with a rock without gloves and stuffed them on himself before running off the cliff. But by Dickhead's story here, he would have recounted he killed her with a rock. Then he pulled her gloves out of his pockets, put them on, and ran off the cliff. Not, he killed her with a rock, then he ran off the cliff. Because he's wearing gloves, he would have had to have put them on, so Dickhead here would have seen him put them on and would have been in his story. It was said Adrian's body was found wearing mitts, so it would not have been possible for his fingerprints to be on the rock that killed Lulu unless James arranged for them to be there. Retarded! First of all, it would be possible. Adrian's body found wearing mitts, so it would not have been possible for his fingerprints to be on the rock that killed Lulu unless James arranged for them to be there. Wrong. He could have killed fucking Lulu with a rock without wearing his mittens, then put them on afterwards. That's why his fingerprints are on them. But Mr. Dickhead here would have said in his story, I saw him kill her with a rock. He weren't wearing mittens. Then he pulls his mittens out, puts them on, then he runs off the cliff. Then it collaborates, and he'd be a free man. Sounds retarded, but it fits. It is possible, because Mitten Man could have killed her without mittens, then put his mittens on. But we have a witness, and it doesn't make any sense. So that's the reason. I don't know why it's worded it like this, and I don't see how he's arranged for them to be there. So what's happened is he's killed the bitch with a rock, killed James somehow, or chucked James off the cliff, killed Lulu with a rock, went down, took his mitten off, touched him with the rock, put his mitten back on. What the fuck did this guy do? This guy has taken the fingerprints of Adrian with the mittens. So he takes the mittens off, has him touch the rock. Or was this Adrian guy, was it a rock that Adrian touched? This guy sort of picked it up, put it in a plastic bag and then left it there. Because otherwise this guy took his mittens off, touched it with a rock, then he put his mittens back on. And it didn't cross his mind, the police are going to see him with mittens on. How did he get the fingerprints on here? I think he would have just ripped the fucking mittens off and they're there. Simple. Mittens gone. No mittens. Fingerprints. Simple. But, oh well.